Hi, this is Seth David from the world-famous Nerd Enterprises Incorporated, bringing to you another special screencast. This time we're talking about QuickBooks Help, how to record prepaid expenses. Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call me right now at 866-945-8070 for information about private trainings. We send you a link, you log in with us, we coach you through whatever you need to learn. We record the live session so you can review it as often as you like afterwards. Okay, here we are. Another special screencast, another beautiful day, talking about prepaid expenses in QuickBooks. What could be more beautiful than that? So what am I talking about? A lot of times we pay, for example, insurance premiums, we pay up front for the entire year. And the tendency is to do it as follows. I'll write a check, and I'll write it to the insurance company. Let's say it's for $9,000 for my liability insurance. And I just book it to the general liability insurance expense, right? Save and close. The cash comes out of my account. And if I run my profit and loss, everything looks perfect. Right? I've got my $9,000 on the books. Let's run the profit and loss for this fiscal year and total it by month, though. And now it starts to become perhaps a little clearer why this is potentially a problem. The reason it's potentially a problem is that it's telling me that all $9,000 of that expense was incurred in the month of January, but that's not really true, is it? Isn't it true that I have the benefit of being covered under this insurance policy for every month throughout the year? So doesn't it make more sense if I spread the expense evenly throughout the year? That would be more accurately stated. It would be more consistent with the accounting principle that we have called matching. It means that we match up an expense in its given period with that period's revenue. That's why we do accrual basis reporting, especially for analysis purposes. Even if you pay taxes on a cash basis, I always have my clients do their analysis on an accrual basis because I like to show everything, and I like to show the expenses and the income in the month in which they were incurred. If I close the doors to my business tomorrow, maybe I'd get a refund for the remaining portion of the insurance premiums. If I canceled the policy, there might be a cancellation fee. The point being that it's not accurate to say that the whole $9,000 of expense was really incurred in January when, as I said, I get the benefit of it throughout the entire year. So how do we fix this? Let's fix this. The first thing we do is we double-click the expense right in here. We get the detail report. Double-click it again to get to the check. And I want to book this to prepaid expenses. Save and close. Now watch what happens. Of course, it comes off the P&L. Right, my P&L is now blank. And I've got it on my balance sheet. As soon as I refresh it, there it is in prepaid expenses, which is perfect. Now I just have to automate the recording of the expense on a monthly basis, so I don't have to worry about it. And I do that by memorizing a transaction, a journal entry. So I go to Company, make General Journal Entries. Now, this one was paid on January 2nd, so let's record it on January 2nd. January 1st is a date that generally I like to reserve for special entries. That way I know that my January 1 balance sheet, for the most part, is consistent with the previous day, December 31st, save some closing entries that I might make on the books. That's another webcast for another day. Let's record this journal entry, 9,000 divided by 12 months. So I get the benefit at the rate of $750 a month. I can debit general liability insurance. Debits increase expenses. And I credit the prepaid. Credits decrease assets. This is an asset. It's something I paid for that I haven't derived the benefit of yet. And it's important always to put the name here and associate it with the expense. In this case especially, I want to make sure that I associate it with the prepaid. And I'm going to show you why. But first, let's memorize this. So I'm going to right-click anywhere in the transaction. Choose Memorize General Journal. Let's call this prepaid insurance. This is just a name. Oops. This is just the name by which you refer to the memorized transaction itself. It's other than that, this name has no implications. We want to automate the entry. We want to do it every month. The next time we want to do it is February 1st because I'm about to record this one. And including that one, there should be 11 remaining. So I click OK. And then I click Save and Close. When I hit Save and Close, you're going to see this is going to get reduced, and I'm going to get $750 in expenses on the books for the month of January. And sure enough, there it is. $750, $82.50. Now let's say I also happen to prepay my rent. And you'll see in a minute why I want to demonstrate this with at least 2 prepaid expenses. So let's pay the landlord for, let's say the rent is $2,500 a month, right? $2,500 times 12, $30,000 for the year. Goes into prepaid. And let's do that journal entry. Company, make general journal entries, right? 30,000 divided by 12, $2,500 a month. And this is going to be rent expense. This is going to go to prepaid. And again, you want to make sure you put that vendor name in the name column here. And then we're going to automate this one. Memorize it. You can call it landlord, call it rent. Automate the entry every month. Next date would be February 1st. Number remaining 11. Same process. Okay. Save and close. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times people come to me and say, well, shouldn't I have a prepaid for a separate prepaid for each of these expenses? And my answer is not necessarily. You can. You can. And there's my rent, by the way, coming in on the P&L. But my thing is, let's try and keep the balance sheet nice and clean. If I really want to see what's inside this prepaid, I can double click it. And then you might say to me, well, yeah, but this is a little messy. No problem. Then we total this by payee. And then it becomes very clear to me that I prepaid my rent because of the name, I landlord, and I can see that the journal entry is coming out of rent expense. I can see that I prepaid my insurance and that I expensed it out for the month of January. So to me, knowing that I can do this enables me to keep the balance sheet nice and clean. I really only need one prepaid expense account for all of it. And I can subtotal this report when I drill into this by payee, and of course I can memorize this. So that, my friends, is how I deal with prepaid expenses. If you have another way, a suggestion for something that you think might be helpful, please post your comments down below in the YouTube video or in my blog, wherever you happen to be watching this. As always, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the web.
Hi, this is Seth David from the world-famous Nerd Enterprises Incorporated, bringing to you another special screencast. This time we're talking about QuickBooks Help, how to record prepaid expenses. Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call me right now at 866-945-8070 for information about private trainings. We send you a link. You log in with us. We coach you through whatever you need to learn. We record the live session so you can review it as often as you like afterwards.